Ananda, one of Buddha's closest disciples, was present. Too was shocked. The Buddha had never asserted such a thing without qualifiers or conditions. Throughout his life, he had strongly critiqued any notion of God. There was an agreement between Buddha and Ananda. Ananda was Buddha's cousin. Before becoming Buddha's disciple, Ananda had made a condition. You must promise me a few things. Right now, I am your cousin. But when I become your disciple, I will have to obey you. But right now, I can make requests, and you must comply. The Buddha said, I know you well. You will not ask for anything I cannot do. Please speak. Ananda said, it's nothing much, just a few small requests. One is that every night, before going to sleep, if I ask you something, you must answer. You cannot say, I am too tired today from interacting and talking with so many people. You will have to answer me. During the day, I will not ask, and I will not disturb you. But I am not yet enlightened. Occasionally, I will have some questions. The Buddha replied, I accept. Ananda continued, you will not send me far away. I will always be by your side and care for you until death. You will not order me. Go and spread my teachings as though you sent others. You will not send me anywhere. The Buddha said, okay, that is not a problem. Ananda added, if I bring someone to meet you,
When do
then no matter
you
what time, even at midnight, you must meet that person. These are the few special favors you must grant me. The Buddha said, I agree to all, for I know you well. You will not take advantage of these. So when Ananda was stunned by the Buddha claiming there is a God, but he could not ask against the crowd, that afternoon someone else came and asked the Buddha the same question. Does God exist? He answered, no, there is no God. The situation became complicated. Ananda was utterly confused, but endured. That evening another person came to the Buddha. Can you tell me about God? The Buddha looked at him, closed his eyes, and was completely silent. The other person also closed his eyes. Both were silent for half an hour. Before leaving, the person bowed down and kissed his feet and said, thank you for your teaching. His events overwhelmed Nanda. Time seemed to stand still while Nanda felt a fire burning within. Once everyone had left, Nanda rushed to the Buddha and said, I cannot understand. Those three people did not hear all three answers. They only heard one, but we heard them all. You must consider us too. We will go mad. If this continues, I don't know how we will cope. The Buddha replied, you must remember something. First, those questions were not yours, so I did not answer for you. Why are you puzzled? It is not your concern. It is between me and those people. Amanda said, I understand that. That wasn't my question. You didn't answer for me. But I have ears, and I can hear. I heard the question, and I also heard the answer. The three answers completely contradict each other. First you said yes, then no. Finally, you were silent. You didn't say a word, yet that person kissed your feet and said, thank you for your teaching. And we witnessed it all. You said nothing to that person. The Buddha said, you see life in a rigid way. That is your problem. Everything is relative. For the first person, the answer had to be yes, because it suited him, his question, his essence, his life. I answered yes because he is an atheist. He does not believe in God, and I did not want to support his ignorance. He always says, there is no God. Even if there is a tiny, unexplored bit, perhaps God exists there. You can only assert absolutely that there is no God after having explored all of existence. Until then, it is only my belief that there is no God. He has no actual experience of God. So I had to destroy him. I had to wake him up. I had to hit him hard. I answered yes because it was relative to him, to his person. He did not ask just to ask. The same question from someone else might require a different answer. Therefore, I answered no to the second person. The same question, the same words, but standing behind the question was a different person. So the relationship between the word and its implications had changed. The second person was as ignorant as the first, but in opposition. He believes in God and wanted me to support his belief. I cannot support anyone's beliefs because belief is a barrier. It doesn't matter what the belief is, whether it's right or wrong. No belief is right. No belief is wrong. All beliefs are ignorant. I had to say no to him. Ask the right question. The third person had no beliefs. He didn't ask, does God exist? He approached with an open mind, free of biases, ideologies, or prejudices. He was healthy and intelligent. He asked, what can you say about God? He didn't come to seek support for his beliefs. He didn't come to find faith. He asked not with prejudice, but about my experience. What can you say about God? I held no beliefs, whether he believed or not. It was innocent. For someone like that, the question is very important. I couldn't say yes, nor could I say no. Only silence was appropriate. And just as I anticipated, he closed his eyes when he saw me close mine. He understood my answer. Be silent. Look within. Meditated with me for half an hour. His answer was that God is not a theory to be followed or opposed. That's why he thanked me. And you wonder why he thanked me. He received an answer that silence is sacred, that silence is holy. Beyond silence, there is no divinity. Left in joy, fulfilled. He had found his answer. My role was to allow him to be in my presence. Chapter 2. What if God we assume that God created us? It implies that we are reflections of Him. We must also be omniscient, generous, loving, and eternal good. But do we truly embody these noble qualities, or are we merely assuming ourselves to be so? If God is the one who created you, He must be an extraordinary entity, for He has chosen for you to live a challenging life. When we look at our own lives, what do we see? It's a perfection, overflowing joy, and unfinished delight. Or we observe a mundane reality where happiness and sorrow are mixed, and challenges are relentless. Perhaps we have concocted the idea of God to mirror our own desires, fears, and need for security. In the history of India, hundreds of thousands of gods are worshipped. Each local deity having its own following. This prompts us to reflect on whether all these deities are products of the human mind, which we have fashioned ourselves. Chapter 3. The Buddha and Amanda. Ananda was a cousin of the Buddha, the son of Amitabha, who was the brother of King Suddhodana, the Buddha's father. Because his birth brought great joy to everyone in the family, he was named Ananda, which means joy. Ananda became a monk under Buddha, along with other young men from the Sakya clan, including Buddha, Bhadra, Bhaga, Kikiva, and Devadatta. When the Buddha was 55 years old, Ananda was appointed as his personal attendant. For the next 25 years, until the Buddha's passing into Nirvana, Ananda remained constantly by the Buddha's side, tending to his daily needs. Ananda possessed an extraordinary memory, recording all the Buddha's discourses as well as those of several senior disciples without omission. Once a Brahmin asked Ananda how many teachings he remembered, and Ananda replied that he recalled 2,000 discourses by the Buddha and 2,000 by the disciples of the Buddha, making a total of 84,000 teachings. The Buddha praised Ananda's 5 virtues: extensive learning, excellent memory, steadfastness, meticulous care, and good conduct. It was only after the Buddha's nirvana that Ananda attained the state of an arhat. This was because While the Buddha was alive, Ananda was preoccupied with his duties as an attendant and with memorizing his teachings like a scholarly disciple engrossed in extensive literature. Ananda entered Nirvana at the age of 100.
Oh, yes.
The story unbelievably sleep.
I love it when you resist.
When he slept, the Buddha maintained a single position throughout the night. He never turned over. This posture has become famous. Many Buddha statues in Sri Lanka, China, Japan, Vietnam, and India have been sculpted in this pose. In Ajanta, India, there is a reclining Buddha statue. This sleeping pose was described by Ananda. One day, Ananda asked, I have always wondered, you lie in that position all night. You sleep. Usually, people turn over in their sleep. But when you sleep or appear to sleep, you seem fully aware. It's as if you are conscious of everything in your body. You don't turn over unconsciously. The Buddha replied, indeed, when the mind ceases its restlessness, there are no dreams, only the body sleeps. The consciousness is always alert. The Buddha, the great teacher,
Displaying the usual lack of imagination. Going straight to your middle tower. Your middle tower is under
not
attack.
found,
For the love of... They destroyed your middle tower.
but initiated an entirely different founded a religion also faith, and this is or double kill.
That's what we need. The enemy has no more top tower. Dire has wisely chosen to fortify their own structures. Hurry. We may save the bottom tower yet.
Here, here.
To the bottom tower. They've laid siege to it.
Hence,
Swift.
not fair. He spoke without word. Understood nothing. In a sense, it seems harsh, but if this is a the truth must be spoken. The moment perception, the soul, its fate, it becomes
Oh, yes.
if it not raised perception, humans must be raised up to the that's the important.
Worthy tribute. Forward.
Part 1. Remember this.
The pain
Buddha is
train.
freedom.
Quickly
The
now.
blessed one, God of all, embark upon the spiritual path of a manner of freedom, independent of
A royal
this is an extremely rare
Oh no.
virtuous
The top
spiritual
tower.
path.
It's under
One
attack.
often it's restricted. It depends on the strength. It does not transform individuals. It only does not lift us. It enslaves. It suffocates. Remember this. Buddha is freedom. If you see any earnest but depressing, surely they do not understand.
Your queen.
They have imposed their own malady on the teachings of the Blessed One. And the Buddha does not ideology. It has no ideology because all ideologies belong to mind. If they belong to the mind, those ideologies do not belong to the mind. Serve as a bridge to transcend the mind. All ideologies also does not believe in ideas because all ideas create tension, conflict, vigilance.
Now I see what
Ideas
they want.
cause division
They're
and
attacking the
suffering.
bottom tower.
You are yourself, but ideas want you to believe something else, and you are torn between these two. Ideals create division. Ideals disintegrate. Only consciousness
yes.
of ideologies is not divided. And if you are divided, how can you
To
have
the bottom
how
tower.
can
They've
you
laid
decide?
siege to it.
How can you know anything about peace and tranquility? A person with an ideal will constantly
yes.
struggle with themselves.
Protect the bottom tower, or it will be lost.
They live in conflict. They live in a state of confusion because they cannot determine who they are, whether
Now
they
I see
are
what they
living
want.
according to
They're attacking the
ideals or
bottom tower.
reality.
The good news
They
is
cannot
that radiant
trust
structures
themselves.
will be much harder to damage now.
They lose confidence.
Hurry.
And once
We may
confidence
save
is
the bottom
lost,
tower yet.
that person
The
will have
bottom tower is fallen. Nothing
That
good will come of this.
enslaved to priests, to politicians. At that point, they are ready to fall into some trap. They need someone to tell them who they are. They need an identity. They have forgotten themselves and their essence. The Buddha taught a way of life that is free.
Your bottom tower is under
That's why
attack.
he does not talk about the path to enlightenment. He does not talk about the future. He does not
They're attacking the bottom tower.
It takes away your sense of self. It constantly takes everything. Ultimately, it takes away the idea of self.
We may save the bottom tower yet.
And this is very difficult. It's difficult because just
Killing spree.
take a husband, but a spouse you try to take. You don't respect others. A wife, property. You can take a house, but how can you take a wife or a husband? Language is express what is happening in the mind. You don't respect others. A wife is not property. You can take a house, but how can you take a wife or a husband? Language is express what is happening. You don't know how to let go, how to let things happen.
Killing spree. Double kill.
Nirvana is all
Dominant, I guess. More than 2 kills, but less than 4 kills.
and ultimately takes place in
I can see what you did to your every move.
finds this important as Nirvana. Nirvana is suddenly it's Nirvana. It's always present. You have accumulated so much clutter that you cannot see the emptiness. Just like in a house, you keep accumulating belongings until you no longer see the empty space. And when there's no emptiness in the house, one day,
Here, here.
there's no empty space. Emptiness isn't going. Think about it. Meditate. Emptiness doesn't go anywhere.
Your queen moves.
Furniture, chairs,
Your top tower is under attack.
the club. It's always there. It's in the club. It doesn't. The Buddha does not bestow Nirvana. The Buddha gives you freedom instead of position. The Buddha teaches you how to live, not for any goal, not to achieve anything, but simply to enjoy blessings that are now. It is
Superb! We've taken down their bottom
just
tower.
to live in awareness. Not in the sense that awareness will bring you something. Awareness is not a means to achieve something. It itself, ultimate result, both a means and an end. Its value is intrinsic, it's inner. The Buddha does not teach you mysteries. This must be clearly understood. Human beings belong to this world, yet monks keep teaching about another world. That other world is not mysterious. It cannot be mysterious because it is just a higher form of the world you are living in. How can you create another world? You only know this world. You can upgrade, decorate, remove some ugliness and replace it with what you consider beautiful. But this will be a product created from your experience in this world. Therefore, that other world is no different. It cannot be different. It is a continuity. It arises from your mind. It is the play of imagination. All scriptures talk about the path of meditation, and the meditation path of the scriptures is nothing but similar stories. It may be printed on artistic paper with better ink, using more modern printers with more colorful illustrations, but the story remains the same. It cannot be different. The Buddha does not speak of another world. He only teaches you how to be here, in this world, how to always be mindful, aware so that nothing can affect your inner being, so that your inner being remains uncontaminated, so that the ability to still remain untouched, still be here, so that you know this world is not real. Mystical spirituality is stifling, destructive, full of suffering, and short. The spirituality.
A dominating performance. Double kill.
Oh, yes.
The flavor of the world. It's the flower that is here and now. It demands nothing, for it has everything. It simply asks you to be more awake so that you can
Here.
It seems Dire has chosen to strengthen this
remember, you only exist to the extent of your awareness. If you want to exist more,
Radiant structures are fortified.
consciousness creates existence. Unconsciousness has no existence.
Their middle tower
When
to
you are not present. When you fall asleep, you are not present. Can you see it? When you are awake, you have a different quality. You center, grounded. When awake, you feel the solidity of existence. It's almost tangible. You're not aware. It just slowly fades away. In a state of drunkenness or sleep, your awareness of your existence changes. Therefore, it's to be aware. Not for any reason, simply to be aware, because consciousness creates existence. Consciousness creates you. And it creates you in a way that is very different from your current self, from what you can imagine. It creates you where the I disappears, where there is no longer any idea of the I, nothing shaping, a pure emptiness, an endless emptiness. The difference between Buddhism and traditional religions.
A path.
Nirvana is a unique concept in the teachings of the Buddha, describing the highest state of consciousness, which is liberation from all desires. The Buddha used this term, although it was not previously associated with any spiritual meaning. According to the Buddha, our self is like a flame fueled by endless desires. However, as these desires gradually fade away, our self also subsides and merges into the universe, with no trace of separate existence. In the state of nirvana, all sense of individual identity dissolves, and you become indistinguishable from the vast universe. The Buddha chose the term nirvana instead of other affirmative words because he realized that all affirmative words can evoke a sense of self-importance, illuminating Nirvana does not cause spiritual pollution because it cannot be tainted. It is the non-existence of all desires. Although the initial sense of hearing the word nirvana may not evoke excitement or longing, palace is to
Dire's
words that stir up desire, only to suffering and tension. Nirvana, on the contrary, brings absolute freedom, without tension, without longing. The Buddha emphasizes that we should be ready to embrace this dissolution, because even in the absence of the self, nirvana maintains its purity. Nirvana remains the purest concept for 3 centuries. Its sound, whether we understand the meaning behind it or not, still brings a sense of peace and tranquility.
Dominators, I guess.
When hearing the word nirvana, time seems to stand still, with no destination
If you
in
were a
sight.
millennial, I'd
That
say
moment
wicked
is when
sick.
you can completely dissolve, merge into nothing, leaving no trace of your original existence
Monster
behind.
kill. Double kill.
Part 2. The Buddha's Quest for Truth.
Attack.
When the Buddha was born, astrologers warned the king, "The gods are anxious that your majesty should know this. The prince who has just been born will either become a Chakravarti, a universal ruler, or he will become an ascetic monk. These are the 2 extremes." The king was aging when the prince was born. This was his own age. He requested the astrologers to find a way to prevent the child from becoming an ascetic and renouncing the world. These astrologers knew nothing about the mind and psychology. Perhaps they only knew about the stars far away, millions of light years from Earth, and how foolish humans are to believe that their fate, their destiny, is determined by the millions of stars far away. There is a reason for the meaningful existence of astrology. It gives you satisfaction to think that the entire universe cares about you. Even the stars far away strive to do something. You are not ordinary. You are not nothing. The stars far away don't even know about you. They could constantly when your ego feels stroke. Astrologers exploit this as the 30 days of humanity. Of course, they exploit you. You have to hate them, but somehow you feel deserving. They give you a big ego. You become grand, more important than the biggest star in the sky. They all revolve around you. But these poor astrologers are not putting together a single forward. They told the king, "If your majesty wants the prince not to renounce the world, the gods need to perform some rituals." There are mistakes. Nowadays, this has changed, but the Pope every year on the same day, the rain would start, and also on a similar day, the rain would stop.
Double kill.
In the winter, it arrives on the same day and ends 4 months later on a similar day. Throughout the century, the seasons are recorded this way. It has changed, but in the time of Buddha, it was like this. The king father had 3 palaces built, each for a season. In the summer, the palace on the hilltop was always lush and beautiful. Every detail was meticulously arranged so that Prince Siddhartha never felt disappointed in this world. In the winter, a warm atmosphere enveloped the palace. The astrologers told the king, "From the outset, let the prince live among beautiful maidens, so that by the time he becomes a young man, the prince will have all the beautiful maidens in the country." They went even further into detail, saying that the prince should be secretly for seeing
That was unreal.
the prince question, "Is this the fate of every never let the prince see dead?" Absolutely do not let the prince know about the reality of life. The prince, there are ones that one has everything. Why would one want to renounce it to existence? The prince was completely like even the guardians in the palace were ordered that the prince should not see a flower about to wilt or a leaf about to change color. When night fell, anything singling death had to be removed. The prince only saw beautiful, vibrant flowers. He only saw evergreens, and the king could do this. The king ordered it to be done, and this method backfired. Those foolish astrologers did not realize a simple truth. If one has everything and does not recognize the ugliness around, sooner or later you will feel bored. Sooner or later you will start to think, is this all that it is? Then tomorrow will be the same. The day after will not change. What's the point? People become bored. And that's what happened. The prince became bored with the ever-beautiful maidens, with the ever-vibrant flowers. How long can your mind stay silent? It was the astrologers who caused the prince to renounce the palace. If he had been allowed to live a normal life like everyone else, perhaps there would have been no Buddha. To some extent, the astrologers unintentionally contributed greatly to humanity. Unable to conceive the truth.
In one short moment, the enemy's bottom barracks
Every
was destroyed.
the palace holds a festival, and Crown Prince Siddhartha, the heir to the throne, presides over and declares the opening of the festival. The festival lasts for several weeks with all sorts of sporting events and artistic performances. At the age of 29, Crown Prince Siddhartha stood up to declare the opening of his festival. On the way to the festival, every detail was meticulously arranged. Yet existence always finds its way to reach you. You cannot remain closed when it's yet. If you are alive, there will surely be air into existence to slip in to aware of reality. Astrologers and kings cannot be smarter than existence. Every detail is meticulously arranged along the route from the palace to the festival day. No elderly, no dead bodies, no processions, anything suspicious. Cannot carriages entertained the festival. The prince saw an old man to his death, and did not hear the prohibition ordered that day, that he must stay indoors and not go out. The old man was deaf, unable to hear, so out of his daily habit, left the house to go to the market to buy food. For the first time in 29 years, the prince sat
Oh my god, I got this.
somewhere on the threshold of death. The prince asked the coachman, "What has happened